If you have any questions, please feel free to comment below. And this is everything that you need to know for AP biology. See you inside. So things can cross. Some things can cross more easily, and some things cannot cross, or it's very difficult for them to cross. So this is what selective permeability means. It means that some substances can cross more easily than others. Okay, and it's also selective. The selectively permeable membrane allows the cell to control this exchange to what goes in, what can come in, what can go out, because some substances cross very, very difficult or do not cross at all. Now, why the membrane is selective, okay? So if we remember from the previous lesson, the inside, this layer, okay, the inside layer, this is non-polar and it's hydrophobic, and these tails point in toward each other, so it does not interact well with water. So it creates this like oil water layer. Okay, so it separates the inside and the outside of the cell. And so the hydrophobic fatty acid tails makes the membrane interior, and this leads to that selective permeability. So it can control what crosses this layer. Now, the molecules that can pass freely without, like they can pass really, really easily, these are our small molecules, okay, that are non-polar. They can pass freely and really quickly as well. Because they are small and non-polar, they don't interact with the fatty acid chains, so they can just pass through it freely. And so they can move through that hydrophobic interior because they are non-polar as well. Molecules that need proteins. Now, some molecules do not pass freely over the cell membrane. They are blocked because they have the polarity. They're charged or they're large and polar. These type of these type of molecules require channel proteins. So a channel protein is just when it has a channel for the molecules to move through. And a transport protein is a little bit different, where it can bind to the protein and that causes the shape to change. And so it binds to the molecule and then the shape changes. Okay, that is a transport protein. And we use this, so examples here are for sodium and potassium ions. Okay, they're ions, so they are charged. And we also, large polar molecules like glucose cannot cross freely. It needs that protein assistance. If we look at small polar uncharged molecules, okay, these molecules can pass through the membrane, but in very, very small amounts, okay? So if we take, for example, water is a small polar molecule, but it has no charge. It can cross the membrane, but very, very slowly, okay? It has also, we'll look at the protein that helps transport water a little bit later, but it can move across this membrane, but very, very slowly. And the same for things like ammonia, which is a small polar molecule. It can move across the membrane, but very, very slowly. So if we look at the permeability ranking chart, okay, if you are a small non-polar molecule, you cross freely, you have no trouble passing the cell membrane because you are non-polar. You don't interact with this non-polar layer. Okay, if you are a small molecule and you're polar but you're uncharged, you can move but very, very slowly. So you can cross in small amounts. Okay. But if you're a large polar molecule or you're an ion, meaning you are charged, you cannot cross the cell membrane without a protein. You need a protein channel. If you enjoyed that video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and can join us on the Skool.com community page where you'll find AP Bio blueprints. And if you take a look inside, you will see that Unit 1 is completely free. See you all there.